In today's lesson, we will have a look at writing a diary entry. What is a diary entry? It is an example of transactional writing that is organized by date. Diary entries show how thoughts, feelings, and opinions are organized. Diary entries break up your diary into smaller sections. Think of them like chapters of a book. They can be as short or as long as you want, or according to instructions. It is a piece of writing that retells events that have happened to the writer. They are written in chronological order, and events are dated. Can you remember what the word chronological means? If not, use your dictionary to look for its meaning. Diary writers consider events and how it made them feel. This is an example of a diary entry template. Usually, a diary entry has the date, a salutation, and it's written in one or more paragraphs. This is an example of a diary entry layout. Now, characteristics of diary entries include that it's written using shorter sentences. It uses emotive language. You must name people and places, and it's written in the first person. In this example, you can see that our diary entry is dated. And then we have the salutation, Dear Diary. Next, we have the introductory paragraph, which starts with a topic sentence, which tells us what this diary entry is going to be about. It's also written in the first person. Today, I started my new job at the ice cream parlor. I was excited but very nervous at the same time. I hope that the manager and the girls who work there liked me. You may write in your diary how you felt about something, and you have to be honest. One of the girls who worked there was called Anne. She was awesome. Not sure I liked Sarah. She wasn't very friendly, but she only works 2 days a week, so I won't see her much. You may use emojis or doodles to convey feelings. And then after the topic sentence, you add supporting sentences. Anyway, a new day tomorrow. Let's hope I can make some tips. Wish me luck. In your diary entry, you may also indicate your future hopes or expectations. And it's written quite informally or using a casual style. And then once you've finished your entry, you sign off by adding a good night, mwah, or you may add your name. We can also find emotions in diary entries. For example, angry, happy, or sad. Can you spot the emotions in this diary entry? Read the first paragraph with me. Today I started my new job at the ice cream parlor. I was excited but very nervous at the same time. Did you spot the emotions there? Please be aware that this is an American entry and therefore the word parlor is spelled incorrectly. Can you see if you can find the correct South African spelling? Let's continue with emotions. You don't necessarily have to use the words angry, happy, or sad. You may use synonyms too. For example, instead of saying you were angry, you might want to say that you were furious. Instead of using the word happy, you may use words like ecstatic. And instead of saying sad, you might want to use the word miserable. Let's see how you write a diary entry. First, you will start with the introduction, after you have written the date and the salutation. The introduction is built in with information such as who, what, where, when, why, and how something happened. Let's look at this example and see if you can spot who the diary writer is. Let's start with the date, and then today Red Riding Hood had to bring my lunch to my house because I was feeling a little sick. Instead, I had another visitor who tried to eat me. After your introduction, you write the body of your diary entry, which can consist of one or more paragraphs. And and it explains the day's events in sequence. Remember that big word, chronological? The big bad wolf pretended to be Red Riding Hood. He knocked on the door and told me that he had my lunch. When I opened the door, he wrapped a scarf around my mouth, took one of my nightgowns, and locked me in the cupboard. I was terrified. I knew Red Riding Hood was in trouble when I heard her screaming. Suddenly, I heard a loud thud and some loud running noises. How do we write the conclusion? In the final paragraph, write how the day's events ended, and also include how you felt about your experience and give a reason or reasons. The local woodchopper had come to our rescue. We made some tea and had some cookies to calm our nerves. I was very relieved that the day turned out well and that we are all safe and sound. Let's have a look at a complete example where we have the date, the salutation, the introductory paragraph, the body, conclusion, and where we sign off. Dear Diary, grr, I'm so hungry. I thought I was going to grab my favorite snack from the deep dark wood today, but then something really scary happened and I had to run for my life. I was about to have a taste of the sweet Red Riding Hood when I came face to face with the meanest creature in the wood, the woodchopper. Every creature in the wood is afraid of his sharp axe. I ran out of Granny's little house as fast as I could. I was so angry because I had to go to sleep hungry. Tomorrow I will hunt for snacks somewhere else. The big bad wolf. Let's have a look at another example and see how different the same day's events are from 3 different perspectives, which makes diary entries so interesting. Dear Diary, today was one of the worst days of my life. All I wanted to do was take some delicious snacks to Granny, but then I was tricked and almost eaten. When I reached Gran's house, the big bad wolf was already there. He pretended to be Gran. I suspected that something was wrong when I saw her great big eyes and ears. She also had a bigger mouth than I remembered, but I thought it was because of her disease. Suddenly, the wolf opened his mouth to swallow me. I started screaming and running. He couldn't run fast enough in Granny's pajamas. Luckily, the woodchopper was working in the area and chased the wolf away. I've never been so afraid in my life. We found Gran in the cupboard and then had some tea and cookies to calm our nerves. I hope that tomorrow will not be as scary as today. Red Riding Hood. You might want to read some other famous diary entries too. Some famous diaries include Conversations with Myself, written by Nelson Mandela, The Diary of a Young Girl, written by Anne Frank, The Diary of Lena Mokina, and Journals, Captain Scott's Last Expedition. Here are some diary entry activities for you to practice your diary writing. Keep a diary for a week by writing about what you did or what happened to you, what you experienced, and how it made you feel. Use the diary entry layout used in the examples provided. Or pretend you are a character from a movie, story, or fairy tale. Write a diary entry for your character. Or imagine that you are a superhero. Write a diary entry about what you experienced for a day. If you think you are not creative enough, please remember, you can't use up creativity. The more you use, the more you have. Happy diary writing.